Snow crunches under Elias Kane's heavy boots, each step sinking deep into the Alaskan tundra's frozen crust. The wind howls across the ridge, slicing through his worn parka like a blade. At 38, Elias's face is weathered, carved by years chasing gold, his eyes squinting against the dawn's dim glow in -20 air. Below, his claim sprawls. 80 acres of unforgiving permafrost called Devil's Fork, a name whispered with dread by miners who've lost everything to its grip. 7 figures move in the half-light, wrestling a wash plant spitting steam into the frigid morning. Elias grips his radio, breath fogging in clouds. "Joe, how's that feeder holding up?" Static crackles, sharp and impatient, before Joe Harper, 29, his lead mechanic, snaps back. "Hanging by a damn thread, boss. Motor's frying bad. Give me an hour, maybe less, before it tears itself apart." Elias curses under his breath, the words swallowed by the wind's roar. 6 months ago, he sank every dime into this claim, chasing rumors of $1 million vein buried deep. Rumors don't pay bills. His ex-wife's lawyers are circling like vultures, his daughter's college fund is drained, and the bank's breathing down his neck. 10 days until freeze-up locks the ground solid. No gold, and he's finished. Down at the wash plant, Joe's crouched under the feeder, wrench twisting in her calloused hands, grease smearing her braided hair. She's ex-oil rig, tough as the steel she wrestles, but even she feels the pressure clawing at her. The crew's too small for a claim this brutal, 7 souls against a frozen hell. There's Cal, 22, a rookie digger with more heart than sense, hauling gravel with a loader. Marta, 45, a geologist who reads the ground like a book, sifts samples, her glasses fogging in the cold. 3 others, Tom, Lila, and Nate, run loaders and shovels, their faces grim under layers of dirt and frost. Joe tightens a bolt, muttering, "This damn belt's older than me." Cal jogs up, panting, his breath puffing white. Elias says keep it running, no matter what. Says we're close to the pay streak. Joe snorts, wiping sweat despite the cold. Clothes don't mean squat if this thing dies. She drills a makeshift clamp into the belt, a desperate fix that creaks but holds. For now, Elias trudges down the hill, boots slipping on ice, eyes locked on the sluice boxes where gravel churns, hunting for gold's telltale glint. Marta's there, testing samples, her fingers numb as she sifts dirt. "Ground's rich," she says, voice low, almost cautious. "But it's patchy. 50 ounces if we're lucky." Elias's jaw clenches, his breath sharp. 50 ounces won't touch his debts. He needs 500 to break even, 1,000 to save the claim, and maybe his life. "We ain't here for lucky," he says, voice hard. "Dig deeper." Marta nods, but her eyes scream what she won't say. Deeper means riskier. The permafrost's unstable, shifting under their feet, and their dozer's already coughing like a sick mule, its engine rattling with every load. Hours grind by, the sun barely scraping the horizon, casting long shadows across the valley. The wash plant roars, shaking the ground, its rhythm the heartbeat of their survival. Cal's in the loader, hauling dirt, when the ground shifts beneath him. A crack splits the cut, loud as a gunshot, and water bubbles up, muddy and relentless. "Elias," he yells into the radio, voice cracking. "We got a flood." Elias sprints over, heart pounding, boots sliding in the muck. A pipe under the cut has burst, spewing water that drowns the sluice, turning their work into a swamp. "Shut it down," he barks. Joe scrambles to the control shack, flipping switches with practiced speed. The plant groans to a halt, and silence rings louder than the engines ever did. The crew gathers, faces grim under headlamps. Cal's shaking, his young face pale. "I didn't see it, I swear." Elias waves him off, voice steady but tight. "Ain't your fault. It's this cursed ground." He kneels, inspecting the pipe. It's split clean, a jagged tear no patch can fix without parts they don't have. Joe crouches beside him, her breath visible in the freezing air. "We got maybe 3 days' water left in the pond. No pipe, no sluice, no gold." Elias stands, staring at the flooded cut, his mind racing. "Then we patch it." Now. Night falls, headlamps bobbing like fireflies as the crew works. Joe and Cal rig a collar around the pipe, duct tape, metal clamps, and a prayer to hold it together. Marta's on the radio with a supplier in Fairbanks, her voice sharp as she begs for a new pipe. Earliest is a week, she reports, voice flat, defeated. Elias kicks a rock, frustration boiling over. We don't got a week. He turns to his crew, their faces lit by the orange glow of a fire barrel. We're running this plant till it breaks, or we do. Nobody quits. Jo nods, her jaw set. Cal straightens, trying to look tough. Marta sighs, but grabs her shovel. Tom, Lila, and Nate exchange glances, but get to work. They're in it together, for better or worse. Days blur into a haze of snow and exhaustion. The patched pipe holds, but it leaks, a constant reminder of their fragility. The feeder belt's on its last legs, groaning with every turn. Joe's fixes are miracles, each one buying hours, not days. At dawn, the belt finally snaps, a crack echoing across the valley like a death knell. The plant stops dead. Joe crawls underneath, swearing, her flashlight beam dancing over rusted gears. It's done, Elias. Need a new one, and we ain't got the cash. Elias paces, his mind a storm. He's got one card left, a stash of 20 ounces of gold, hidden in his trailer. It's his emergency fund, meant for his daughter's future. Selling it might buy a belt, but it's a gut punch, a betrayal of the one person he's fighting for. He pulls Joe aside, voice low. If I get you a belt, can you keep this heap running till freeze up? She meets his eyes, unflinching. Give me the parts, I'll make it sing. Elias heads to his trailer, heart heavy, the wind howling outside. He digs under a loose floorboard, pulling out a small pouch, 20 ounces of gold, glinting dully in the lamplight. It's all he has left for his daughter, Sarah, whose photo sits on the table, her smile a reminder of why he's here. He clenches the pouch, then heads out. In Fairbanks, he trades the gold for $1,500, enough for a new belt, and rushes back by dusk, the sky bruising purple. Joe and Cal install it, hands numb in the cold, their breath steaming. The plant fires up, roaring like a beast reborn, and the crew lets out a ragged cheer. Elias stays quiet. He's all in now, no safety net. Marta pulls him aside, her face serious. Test showed 30 ounces in one run. We're hitting the vein, Elias. Hope flickers in his chest, but he smothers it. Show me it the way. Freeze up looms, snow piling high, the air so cold it burns. The crew works 18-hour shifts, faces gaunt, eyes burning with grit. Cal's loader gets stuck in permafrost, its tracks grinding uselessly until Tom and Nate haul it free. Marta drills samples round the clock, her hands blistered through gloves. Joe keeps the plant alive with spit and ingenuity, patching leaks, rerouting hoses, cursing the cold. Then disaster strikes again. A hydraulic line on the dozer bursts, oil spraying like blood across the snow. Elias jumps in, wrench in hand, his fingers numb. We lose the dozer, we lose the cut, he says, voice hoarse. Joe dives in, rigging a bypass with spare tubing scavenged from a junk pile. It's sloppy, leaking, but it works. Elias claps her shoulder, a rare grin breaking through. You're worth your weight in gold. Joe, exhausted, manages a smirk. Pay me in nuggets, then. The final day dawns, the sky heavy with snow, the valley buried under white. The plant runs full tilt, sluice boxes glittering with gold's faint promise. Elias calls the crew to the way shack, a tin-roofed hut lit by a single swaying bulb. They're filthy, bone-tired, but alive with a fragile hope. Marta's got the cleanup ready, gold glittering in 3 heavy pans. Let's see what we got, Elias says, voice thick with everything riding on this moment. Joe pours the first pan onto the scale. It ticks up, 82.3 ounces. A whoop rises from Cal, echoed by Lila and Nate. Elias stays stone-faced. Keep going. The second pan's heavier, 127.6 ounces. The crew's buzzing now, Tom slapping Cal's back. Marta adds the last pan, her hands steady despite the weight of the moment. The scale settles, 241.9 ounces. Total, 451.8 ounces. Elias does the math in his head, $1.2 million at current prices. Enough to save the claim, pay the crew, maybe start fresh. Not the 1,000 ounces he dreamed of, but enough to keep fighting. He looks at his team, their eyes locked on him, waiting. You did what no one else could, he says, voice rough. This ground tried to break us, and we're still standing. He pulls a small pouch from his coat. 10 ounces of gold, his last personal stash. Split this. Call it a bonus. Joe shakes her head, stepping back. Keep it, Elias. For your kid. Cal nods. Then Marta, Tom, Lila, and Nate. Elias's throat tightens, words failing him. Then we're back next year, he says finally. Deeper cut, bigger haul. Cal grins, punching the air. Hell yeah. Marta smirks, adjusting her glasses. If the ground don't eat us first. Across the valley, Nora Vega, 42, watches her own wash plant churn. She's a legend in these parts, running 300 acres with a 20-person crew, chasing a 5,000-ounce season. Her plant, Titan, is a beast, but it's been plagued by breakdowns. A conveyor jam cost her 2 days, and frost keeps locking her sluices. She's in the cab of her D11 dozer, shoving frozen dirt, when her foreman, Dax, radios. Titan's down again. Motor's shot. Nora slams a fist on the dash, her weathered face set. We're 800 ounces short. Fix it. Dax hesitates, his voice crackling. Parts are 3 days out. Nora's eyes narrow, glinting like steel. Then we run the old shaker deck. Get it online. Her crew scrambles, hauling out the relic deck, a creaking monster from the 80s, rusted but stubborn. Dax tweaks the sluices, cursing the cold that numbs his fingers. Nora jumps in, welding a cracked frame herself, sparks flying in the dark. This thing better sing, she mutters. By midnight, the deck's running, dirt flowing through its ancient guts. Test runs show 200 ounces in 24 hours, a lifeline, but time's running out. Nora pushes her crew hard. No sleep, no breaks, just the grind. Dax pulls her aside, his voice low. They're dropping, Nora. Ease up. She shakes her head, her braids swinging. Ease up, we lose. You want your cut or not? Dax backs off, but the tension's thick, the crew's loyalty fraying at the edges. Way-day comes, snow burying the claim, the wind a constant scream. Nora's crew gathers in their own shack, faces hard, hands chapped and bleeding. Titan's cleanup yields 1,432 ounces. The shaker deck adds 678. Total, for 1,110 ounces. $11 million. It's short of her 5,000-ounce goal, but it's her biggest haul yet. Nora stands in the shack, her voice steady despite the ache in her bones. We fought like hell. Next year, we hit 6,000. Her crew nods, loyal but drained, their breath fogging in the cold. Dax mutters to a mate as they file out. She'll kill us first. Back at Devil's Fork, Elias sits in his trailer, a photo of his daughter, Sarah, on the table, her smile a flicker of warmth in the cold. The radio crackles, Joe's voice cutting through. Supplier's got a pipe, half price. You in? Elias smiles, the first real one in weeks. Tell him we're buying. Outside, snow falls, thick and relentless, but the claim hums with promise. Across Alaska, Nora's dozer roars, carving new ground, her eyes fixed on the horizon. The gold's still out there, buried deep, and neither will stop until it's theirs.